name is Keller. I'm a recent graduate from the University of Idaho. I was a double major in environmental science and international studies. I'm born and raised Idaho, and I'm from Pocatello, Idaho, and I've been living in Moscow for the past 4 years. The Uzbekistan and Karakalpakstan project I've been pretty directly involved with in my time in TIFO. Ever since I first came, the project was just barely starting. We've just recently been asked to sort of investigate this, so I was involved in the initial literature review, kind of building up case studies, and I later went and did field work for a month in Uzbekistan, and I'm still doing a lot of data analytics for it and writing up research papers, summaries. So we're investigating how basically pesticide residues from cotton production, rice production, these really water and pesticide intensive crops that are prevalent in the region, how those residues in the soil, in the sediment, in the air, in the water could be affecting people in the area, and if so, whether there's any type of correlation between certain contaminants and certain media, and just trying to get a better overview of what the actual health effects are and what the history of this region has been and how these agriculture practices continue to impact the environment today. I would say one thing that I think about frequently whenever I'm thinking back on our fieldwork in Karakalpakstan was being out in a really remote area near Moynak, where agriculture is basically the only industry going on there. And we were sampling some cotton fields that were actively being worked on. And we did this sort of like informal street interview with one of the people who was there. And he explained how all the people working in the fields were mothers with children, and the children would kind of sit either on their back or be cradled in some way as they're sitting there and they're, pulling off the cotton or tilling the ground, whatever work they need to be doing. And they were doing that because they had no other option, and two, all of their husbands and family members had left the area. They had to go to Kazakhstan or other countries where there was other sources of income. So they'd be working out in factories there, doing whatever for, half a year at a time, come back, and they never really got to see each other. Everyone in the family had to be working. One thing that really drove home for me is that the nature of environmental toxins or environmental health in general is that this is repeat and extended exposure to certain chemicals. Obviously, this is most sort of critical when a child is in developmental age or a woman is in childbearing age, because this can affect their entire life. But yeah, seeing those little kids and workers that had no other choice but to get exposed to these chemicals was kind of hard, and made me understand the long-term implications of this and why people are looking at this. Why should you support TIFO? And I can see why people might be concerned about it being small or it being this North American nonprofit that could just be kind of walking into communities and telling them this is what you need to do. But what I would stress with TIFO specifically is to look at the past work TIFO has done, look at the success that TIFO has had in past projects. This small team really does so much work. They're hard workers, they're very diligent, and I was frankly shocked and impressed at how good of a job TIFO is able to do despite their small staff size. And at the end of the day, it's all people working with other people, and that's been a very important thing for me to learn here.